Hey, yo, what it is, what it do? Big Boss coming through, switch your lane out of the front. Big Boss, how a boss dog can't pop through the door, here to talk this boxing, fucking about soliloquy. When tough times don't last, cause people do the not shit. Carnival, the fella, man, you matter. Peak game, 84s on what's around. Happy 713 days. You know what I mean? That's another Houston holiday. Houston got so many holidays, it's crazy. Uh, we clutched that, you know what we're talking about. Before I get into the main entree, the main dish, introduce our second host, future Hall of Famer. Brother in the hustle. Salute to all our soldiers, aka Coach B. I don't know how you feeling, man.
Hey, what it is, folks, like Capo said, we clutched up. We clutched out, we're here to talk about. Also, like you said as well, happy 713 day. Those that don't know about 713, go ahead and look that up. That's a long time, long standing, real deal area code out here in Houston, Texas. But it is what it is. Y'all know what I'm finna hit y'all over the head with next. Hey, God woke you up. He put breath in your body. Everything else is extra. Get up, take care of you, do you, take care of the family. With all that being said, I'm gonna pass it back to Capo.
Already. So we're gonna start this off right with the women, man. You know, you had Alycia Baumgardner versus Miranda. Alycia Baumgardner put her 130-pound undisputed title on the line. They fought 10 rounds. She's got a new trainer in Derek James. Uh, I could say she looked kind of rusty a little bit, a little ring rust. But Coach, what did you see in that fight? How did Alycia Baumgardner look? And you think that uh, her performance was based off of her being out the ring? She ain't fought in 2 years. So, or do you think, Miranda was just that good? Let us know something.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I think it was a mixture of both. Miranda, she came out sharp. She came out with a nice fight plan to actually, kind of almost take control of what Baumgartner had to throw out there. Granted, Baumgartner's been out of the ring rust for 2 years, so I understand that it take more than a few rounds to knock the ring rust off. But she made it towards the end. She made it to the end. She squeaked out the victory. So shout out to her. But overall, I would say it was a beautiful fight between these two. They were in there. They were at first they were they were looking like true tacticians, but as the fight wore on, you get closer and closer. It wasn't a 12-round match; it was a 10-round match. As those final rounds started to come on, each fighter knew they had to do something different and kind of stand out a little bit more than the last few rounds to pull this off. And luckily, Baumgartner, she stood tall. She was ready for the task. She continued to battle back relentlessly and do her thing in the last couple rounds, and that's how she squeaked out that victory. But I do like the pairing of her and Derek James. That's a nice pairing. I feel like those two can get together and make something happen in the future. As long as she not waiting 2.5 years to get in the ring, I feel like that's a good pairing right there between Baumgartner and Derek James. Also, again, shout out to Miranda because she didn't let that fight go by the wayside easy. She went in there, she did her thing. She made a name for herself. Well, she already got a name for herself, but she went out there and she made a lot of people, new fans, excuse me, and she made a lot of people a believer in her and what she can do moving forward. So again, shout out to those two women. Big shout out to Baumgartner for getting the dub, but it's time to get back in there because the next fight ain't gonna be that easy. I can guarantee.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was just a mixture of her being out of the ring, and Miranda just being a game fighter. Miranda came in there and left it all out in the ring, and I really respected her for doing it. She made Alycia Baumgardner work. I respect Alycia Baumgardner for taking this type of opponent to come back because a lot of the time when these guys be out, oh girl, excuse me, be out 2 years or longer, they want a light touch. But Miranda was tough. You know what I mean? And Alycia Baumgardner said, "Look, I'm a champion. I believe I'm the best women's fighter in the world, so I'm gonna come back against a top or a tough opponent." And you gotta respect her like that. And I do like the pairing with Derek James. I keep telling y'all, Derek James is a masterclass teacher. He's not a coach, he's a teacher. That's where I'm trying to get to. That's what Coach B trying to get to. We trying to get to that level of teacher, right? To where you can teach a style, right? That it's just like it could work with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we literally saw Derek James turn around and go, shit, I didn't see how that was gonna work. You know, when Randall took out Big James, I was like, what? And he literally turned him into, you know, this, knockout artist, with good fundamentals. Now, granted, the whole PED thing came, but he had Ryan Garcia looking, fundamentally sound. You know what I mean? Frank Martin for a while. I mean, Frank Martin was doing phenomenal in the tank fight. He just got caught, you know. But I like that James as just that came in. Alycia Baumgardner got power, and I think her teaming up with Jake Paul and MVP, who's doing a lot for women boxing. I think that sky's the limit for her. You know what I mean? So uh, I should see more improvements fundamentally, if that makes sense, from Alycia Baumgardner. So shout out to her. Good, gritty, tough win. And it's on to the next.
Hey, y'all. We reached the end of the podcast. Y'all continue to support us, man. Continue to support us on this journey. I told y'all this is the genesis, this is the beginning. Continue to like, subscribe, hate. It don't matter. But remember, man, we clutched up. We clutched out. You know what we're talking about. That boxing, baby. Stay tuned for the next one.